Hello, you're watching Eye on Africa on France 24. I'm Clarisse Fortuné. Coming up on the program. The number of confirmed Ebola cases in the Democratic Republic of Congo has increased to 452 after 71 new cases were confirmed. And efforts to contain the outbreak are hampered by mistrust and rumors, discouraging some communities from cooperating with health officials. A local radio station in the DRC city of Bunia is working to counter this skepticism and rebuild trust. For decades, Africa's aspiring travelers looked to Paris, London, or New York for their dream holidays. But a new trend is emerging. Africans are increasingly choosing to explore Africa. Mariam Lessian, president of the Pan-African Tourism Board, will tell us the reasons why intra-African tourism is booming. And Spain's bullfights are world famous, but in Madagascar, a daring tradition steals the spotlight. In Savica, men face charging zebus not to kill, but to cling on for dear life. A test of courage passed down through generations and is now gaining global attention and a bid for UNESCO recognition. Uganda recorded 3 new confirmed Ebola cases. In the DRC, the number has increased to 452 after 71 new cases were confirmed. Meanwhile, the Red Cross there has denounced an attack on its volunteers earlier this week. Misinformation is complicating efforts to contain the outbreak. Rumours have circulated that the virus is a Western conspiracy, fueling mistrust and discouraging some communities from cooperating with health officials. In Bunia, one of the areas most affected, a local radio station is working to counter this skepticism and rebuild trust. Charlie James reports.
It's a region already battered by decades of violence and displacements. Now, as people in eastern DR Congo struggle to understand the severe Ebola outbreak around them, rumors and misinformation are taking hold.
The rumors I hear are that people don't believe Ebola exists, and now people are afraid to go to the hospital.
I've heard rumors that at the hospital, their vaccines are actually designed to infect people with Ebola. So instead of getting the medicine, we get the virus.
Here in the epicenter of the outbreak, rumors can spread faster than the virus. But a powerful tool has emerged in the fight against both. A radio station and a host whose first name means truth. Journalist Verite Johnson started new daily shows designed to help listeners understand the outbreak.
Through our programs, including call-in shows, we're trying to invite specialists and health authorities who come here to talk. We ask them questions. Even this population who has resisted has a possibility to ask their questions directly.
Limited access to education, healthcare, and government services has left many in eastern Congo feeling abandoned by the authorities and the international community. The cooperation of trusted groups like local churches, volunteers, and media can go a long way toward compelling people to seek care and fighting rumors that the virus is a Western conspiracy. Breaking through the layer of resistance, one radio call at a time.
And South African president says regional cooperation is critical in tackling both public health emergencies and migration challenges across the continent. Speaking alongside Kenyan President William Ruto during a state visit in Pretoria, Cyril Ramaphosa highlighted South Africa's support in a fight against the Ebola outbreak affecting the DRC and neighboring Uganda. Ruto defended Kenya's preparedness measures, including a US-supported Ebola quarantine facility. Now, according to last year's figures, Africa recorded the fastest tourism growth in the world last year. What's particularly notable is that much of this growth is being driven by Africans themselves. So what is encouraging more Africans to discover destinations across the continent? To discuss this changing face of tourism in Africa, we're joined by Mariam Lessian. She's the president of the Pan-African Tourism Board. Welcome. So there's a recent New York.
Thank you very much.
There's a recent New York Times article that highlighted what it calls the rise of a new African tourism movement. Do you also see that shift in the way Africans view travel?
Yes, we do see it. Actually, as the president of Pan-Africa Tourism Board, I observe it, and it's very clear the shift is shifting rapidly. And I will give you a few reasons why that's happening. Africa, it's visible now. All the attractions, all the tourism attractions, investment opportunities are visible for Africans to see, but also globally. Another thing is we have better connectivity compared to the past 5 years. Now the connectivity between one country to another, I can say it's not that good. We still need a better way, but we have made an effort, a step forward. So at least now people can move from one country to another to go and enjoy the tourism attraction of another sister country.
Because right now, as it stands, air travel with the few airlines that are going across the continent, air travel within Africa remains quite expensive, isn't it?
I really agree. I totally agree with you. The challenge is we have very few airlines, and they're really trying, like the giant airline, which is the Ethiopian airline, is trying very, very hard to create a lot of routes within the continent first. But also we have seen other airlines which are coming up and creating new routes within the continent, which is a very great achievement. But also we have seen a lot of countries, they have projects for building SGR connecting between one African country to another.
And I know you've been quite vocal into promoting cultural tourism. Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, Clarissa, you know, in the world or in Africa, a lot of people, they have this mentality whereby tourism, it's only about ecotourism and beach holiday tourism. But Africa, we have a rich culture. Our culture is one of the most powerful cultures in the world, and I'm proud to say that. We have the cultural tourism, which now Pan-Africa Tourism Board, we're emphasizing the countries to practice that and promote that, so that we have a lot of tourists who are coming for the cultural tourism, talking of our traditional dances, talking of our attire, talking of our cuisine, talking of our storytelling. We want them to come and experience that. And we know all the countries in Africa, we have our unique cultures. There are similarities, but each country have its unique cultural strength.
And as you go across the continent to promote this cultural tourism, which destinations are currently benefiting the most, you would say?
Okay, the northern side of Africa, they're really practicing it. And we know like Morocco, Egypt, they're really promoting the cultural tourism, but also the western side of Africa, talking of Ghana, talking of Nigeria, Benin, they're really promoting the cultural tourism. So we want all African countries to add that in the basket of the tourism sector, so that it can contribute to the GDP of the economy by promoting the cultural tourism. But another type of tourism which a lot of countries are not promoting, and Pan-Africa Tourism Board, we're really promoting and we're emphasizing the countries to promote, is the agro-tourism. We have a lot of people outside the continent. They come to Africa. It's their first time to see a cinnamon plant, a cardamom plant, a clove plant. So we are promoting that because we have a lot of those crops in Africa, and we can promote them to be another attraction of the tourism sector.
And lastly, obviously, the question of insecurity, instability, and we just mentioned Ebola here in DRC, knowing that the DRC has one of the biggest forests to explore. What would you say about that?
Okay, you know, Clarissa, every continent, every country has a challenge. Africa as a continent, we have our challenges, but we have a very powerful institution, which is African Union. They're really trying hard to make the challenge, neutralize the challenges, and also African countries themselves, they're trying their best to make the harmony between the countries which have misunderstandings and other challenges of security. But the way it's portrayed, it's not reflecting the reality. The reality is not as bad as it's portrayed, and we are trying our level best as a continent to neutralize that, because as we know, Africans, we are known as the most hospitable continent. We are kind people, we are loving, so we just want that to take over in the continent. And with promoting Agenda 2063 of African Union, the Africa we want, it's guns off.
Thank you very much.
For the continent.
Thank you very much, Mariam. I know you're live from Tanzania, one of the most beautiful countries to visit as well. So thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you very much, Clarissa. Thank you for having me.
Now, Spanish bullfighting is known around the world. Far less known is the centuries-old Savica from Madagascar, another culture thing to visit. Like its Spanish counterpart, men face a bull in an arena, but here, no kill. The aim is to hold on to the back of a charging zebu for as long as possible. A male-only discipline passed down through generations, and one Madagascar now hopes to see recognized by UNESCO. Aurélie Kouman reports from Montanarive.
A man on the ground, a zebu of nearly a ton standing over him. Around them, a dozen athletes holding wooden sticks. Their goal, climb onto the animal's back and hold on as long as possible. This is Savica, a centuries-old Malagasy tradition. Harry Tafika has been doing it since he was 10.
Savica has been passed down by our ancestors. It's more than a sport for us, it's a brotherhood, about standing together. Fear's always part of it, but you have to know when to make your move.
Reserved for men, the Savica is not without danger. Cuts, fractures, even death. To stay safe, Harry Tafika's team play as one.
When a zebu turns aggressive, we drop to the ground to dodge it. And another wrestler steps in. It comes down to solidarity within the team.
Harry Tafika is called in. He will face legally one of the most feared zebus of the day. Unfortunately, he never makes it onto the animal's back. But moments later, he shows no sign of disappointment. In Madagascar, no matter how brutal the contest, the zebu is never killed. Here, it remains sacred.
We respect our zebus. They are our national emblem. It is our opponent in the arena, but outside it is our companion. It helps us in farming the land, so we honor it.
For its advocates, the Savica is a piece of Malagasy identity, one they now hope to see recognized by UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list.
One of the many tourist attractions to explore in Madagascar. And to conclude our edition, thank you for watching Eye on Africa on France 24.